This is a group protocol done by students at Temple University, Masters of Occupational Therapy. The group we designed is called MomMe. It's a group for mothers of children with cerebral palsy. This group was done by Megan Fleming, Kaylee Stoller, Casey McKee, Danielle Caballero, and Steven Gianta. This group was done with a lot of research in mind. We did a lot of research, and there is research out there for stress of mothers with cerebral palsy. The prevalence of cerebral palsy is about 2 to 2.5 out of every 1,000 live births, and it's the most common severe physical disability affecting young children. In a study done in Bangladesh, 38 out of 91, or 42%, of mothers in the study reported a stress level higher than the cutoff for psychiatric morbidity. And the behavioral problems in these children that were the strongest indicators of the mother's stress were bedwetting, soiling, sleep problems, and hyperactivity. And this, of course, is a vicious cycle. The child will exhibit the behavioral problems, and this will cause more stress in the mothers. And when the children perceive stress, they only exhibit these signs of bedwetting and soiling, sleep problems, even more so, and the mothers get more stress. So this is a vicious cycle. Another study was done in Wake Forest University School of Medicine that found that mothers of children with cerebral palsy may be at a greater risk for depression. Mothers of 270 children with cerebral palsy were included in the study, and half of the parents made less than $25,000 a year. Most of them were still married, and some of them were also working full-time. So they had other reasons to be stressed besides for also caring for their disabled child. 30% of these mothers scored greater than a 3.79, which is a cutoff above which further evaluation for depression is advised. And what was interesting about this study was that mothers of higher functioning children experienced more distress than mothers of lower functioning children when they perceived low levels of social support. And thus our group. The purpose of our group is for these mothers of children with cerebral palsy to feel that they have a social network. It is for mothers to meet other mothers and have that support. But perhaps more importantly, it is for these mothers to experience the me time that is necessary for their mental and physical health. The group will introduce quick and inexpensive activities that can promote relaxation and wellness and decrease stress.
Okay, so the inclusion and exclusion criteria for our group is that all participants need to be a mother of a child with CP. They need to be between the ages of 18 and 40. They need to have a score of 5 or greater on the Allen Cognitive Scale and a 13.7 or greater on the Perceived Stress Scale. We would like the mothers to have interest in participating in our group and also be willing to complete a pre and post group survey. We also are requiring that parents have childcare available to them during the group so that the children are still attended to.
Time and place of meeting. So when is this happening? Once a week for an hour and a half, preferably during the evenings, for a duration of 5 weeks. Where? Community centers with a home-like ambiance, comfortable couches, floor lamps, and area rugs. We want to try to make it as homey as possible for these mothers. The ratio is 2 to 6, 2 occupational therapists to every 6 clients. So this is a snapshot of the meeting place where we would have our sessions. Frame of reference. So for this, we are using the coping frame of reference, an approach designed to adapt and problem solve around environmental demands to best meet the individual's need. These mothers are stressed. Using a task-oriented group approach, we hope to help group members cope with the stress associated with being a mother of a child with CP through the power of social interaction and stress-reducing activities. Goals for our group: reduce experienced stress, increase awareness of coping techniques, and establish support network among peers. The rationale behind these goals are: research indicates high stress levels in parents, particularly mothers of children with CP. Chronic stress levels lead to a reduction in overall health and well-being. Government health sites offer that parents of children with disabilities to talk to other parents in similar situations to alleviate feelings of isolation and hopelessness. To alleviate stress, it is suggested to schedule routine, relaxing, and health-promoting activities.
Our first session would have a formal warm-up and sharing so that the women could get to know each other. The following sessions would include informal warm-ups and sharings, with possible guiding questions being, can anyone share what kind of feeling or emotion they are bringing with them to our group today? Another option would be, has anyone been able to apply what we did in the previous session in the time since we were last together?
Several of the activities that we will do during our group protocol will include activities that are designed to reduce stress. One such example is a do-it-yourself stress ball. These stress balls will provide tactile input, releasing endorphins to temporarily cheer you up. It sends messages to the brain to provide for a more positive attitude. The next activity, or of an example that's something we would be able to do, is do-it-yourself lavender oil. This is a type of aromatherapy, and lavender is proven to reduce levels of cortisol with stress-relieving properties. The third example we have is do-it-yourself bath salts. Soaking in a bath will ease tension, improve circulation, and help purify skin. The following activity would be a personalized lovely mood board. This would provide a visual aid for self-reflection. Mothers of children with CP will cut out things from the magazine or do drawings of examples of things that provide for a more positive attitude. The next would be a facial relaxation or deep diaphragmatic breathing. This includes taking deep breaths to lower heart rate, and it has calming effects, allowing you to improve focus and increasing oxygen supply to your brain. The final activity would be anti-wrinkle do-it-yourself face masks. This would allow for the mothers to have some me time while applying this facial mask and enjoying the effects that it will have on their skin. Supplies needed and cost of our group protocol would include a meeting place or a space that will incorporate all of the mothers and the therapists, including tables and chairs, a stovetop for activities such as lavender oil, and craft supplies. These items may include balloons, rice, oil, lavender flowers, glass jars, saucepan, spoon, strainer, and other materials that would be necessary for various do-it-yourself activities. We calculated the overall cost to vary between $60 and $75. After completing the activities of the group, we would want to process what just occurred. Some possible questions that we might want to ask the mothers would be, if this activity was useful in relieving stress, what parts of this activity specifically triggered a calming effect, how could the environment be improved to elicit a more comfortable atmosphere, did you complete the task with ease or was it too complicated, and was the task enjoyable? Do you have ideas of activities that you would prefer to do? The key things would be to make sure that we're allowing for environment modifications, upgrading and downgrading tasks for stress levels, and making it meaningful for the mothers.
At this point, there will be a subtle shift from reflecting upon the experience of each individual to focusing on the experience of the group as a whole. This fits in well with the purpose of the group, which is bringing the mothers of children with cerebral palsy from their individual isolated experience into an experience of social connectedness. During the generalizing stage, we will ask the following questions. How did this evening's experience differ from last week's meeting? Did you discover any shared struggles and frustrations within the group this evening? Was there a prevailing topic in your conversations this evening? What other commonalities with the other group members did you discover? And finally, how would you describe the energy and the emotion of the group this evening?
So some questions that we may ask for application of the group may be, what activities learned in group do we anticipate using as a form of relaxation when you are home or in the community? Another question may be, in relation to stress or stress management, has anyone learned anything new about themselves after attending group? Has anyone learned anything new from someone else? How will you apply this newfound knowledge outside of our group setting?
limitations for our group might be time, because mothers have to be able to physically be able to get away for an hour and a half, and the cost, it could get expensive buying the supplies and perhaps the venue, and childcare issues, being able to get a babysitter during the time they're at the group.
The outcome criteria includes the following. Mothers will report a decreased score on the perceived stress scale. Mothers will report a greater sense of societal support. And mothers will report an understanding of stress reduction and coping techniques.